Hey Lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. As the thumbnail show, we're going to be using some of the shadow boxes from Dollar Tree. So let's jump into our first project for our Christmas in July DIY. We're going to take two of these larger shadow boxes or tray, whatever you want to call them, trinket boxes. You know, the names are endless. But I'm just going to go in and I'm going to start out with some of this crazy wood glue. Is it crazy glue, wood glue? I don't know, but it's come from Dollar Tree. And of course, I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue in there. That's just to get that immediate hold so we can move forward on the project. So once that's all nice and dry, I am removing that excess glue. I had a little bit of seepage there, but it held up pretty nicely. And if you want to recreate this, you can definitely add some weight into this, but when you put the two together, it actually puts a little weight on it, so I didn't feel the need to add anything extra. So then as you see what I'm doing right here, I'm just going in with some white paint by FolkArt. You can totally reimagine this your way and do it in whatever color you want if you choose to recreate it. Then I'm going to take some of this, what I believe is called tartan plaid, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if I got this and shared it with Kathy Joe or if she sent it to me, but I'm thinking she sent it to me. I don't know. We had a lot of ribbon exchange going on at one point, so but I think she may have sent this to me because I didn't have a whole lot of it, which I never do anyway because I can't make bows. But anyway, I think she sent it to me. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm just going to use hot glue to hold this in place because I don't have a lot of this, and if I decide to take this project apart, I wanted to easily do that without damaging the ribbon. Okay, so I am going to just take that, wrap it around one way, and I did end up wrapping this up wrong, so I had to do that, but I didn't leave it in. But I'm just going to take it and wrap it this way, and then I'm going to take another piece after I get that all nice in place. We're going to cut it down, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it, wrap it around the other way just to make a T shape or X, however you see it. All right. So once I get that all tacked down, and yes, I am using my silicone little makeup thingy there just to keep from burning my fingers, because in the last video, I almost took my finger out. It hurt bad, y'all, but it's okay. It didn't blister after all. I thought it was going to have a blister. It just left a little bit of a raise, but no actual blister. All right. So, what we're going to do right here is I'm taking this little tag. I don't know where the tag came from. I had quite a few of them in my stash, and I was going to leave it in its natural color here, but it had little scuff marks on it, so I decided just to touch it up with a little bit of that same white paint, and this would make it just a little bit more cohesive, you know, matchy if you will. So then I'm going to take a little bit of Mod Podge, and we're going to just do a light coat of that on top of there. And while it's still wet, I'm going to take these window clings that say Merry Christmas on it, and we're going to lay those right on this little tag. Now, this Christmas part was right to the edges, but it fit in there perfectly. So, you know, just had to slide it to the side a little bit, but it worked out. And so, what I did for that part, I'm going to do to add the Mary part on here. And, yep. And I'm using my TDS design, TDS design fan brush. It was a lot to say there. So I love working with those brushes to do Mod Podge. I do. So once we get those down, I'm just going to go ahead and add a top coat of that Mod Podge on there to seal it in. Dries really quick. And then once I get that situated, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the front of this. If you guys haven't already guessed, we are doing a present. And I really feel like this would be super cute because these trays come in 3 different sizes, and they're about the only thing I see the Dollar Tree is restocking on. So if you see them, I think it would be really cute. I only had this in my stash along with some other, like 1 or 2 other ones, and so I didn't have complete sets to do all 3. But I do think I may go to Dollar Tree and get the other 2 sizes and make a set of these to sit by the front door. I think that would be super cute. I really do. Now, I will admit also with this ribbon, I should have tucked it in because it was wider than what I realized once I put it on the box. And I mean, it still came out cute to me. I just felt like it was just too big for the box, the size of the box. But once I got everything tacked down, I was like, okay, I don't want to keep pulling it off because I had already made a mistake. So I just roll with it. And again, you know, if it really bothers me, it's an easy fix, guys. I can just go and take it off and keep moving. So then I'm taking one of these Dollar Tree bows that I had, and I took off the tails off there, as you can see. And we're just going to add this right to the top of this. Now, my initial thought was to put it in front, but I was like, no, I think I like it on the top. I think it looks cuter that way. And I'm holding it down for you guys, holding it down. Okay. Because it's plastic. Excuse me. Because it's plastic, the hot glue was not, you know, causing it not to stick. So yeah. So then I had this little paper flower poinsettia. Did I say that backwards? Poinsettia paper flower, I guess is how you would say it. And we're going to stick that right on there, as you can see. So then I'm going to, it, as you guys can see, it just was not sticking, like I was really pressing. But anyway, once we get that tacked down, I'm going to take the tails, excuse me guys, and we're just going to add them in just like that. And I really love the way this came together. Now, I was going to just leave them, but I was like, they're going to go flying all over the place. So let's just go ahead and add a little bit of glue to them. It won't hurt nothing. Just do the right thing, May. That's what I often tell myself. Do the right thing, girl. And I really love this. I think it's so cute. So now I'm going to take a piece of this pine pick that I had in my stash. It had little pine cones on them. I don't know where I got those from. I feel like maybe Hobby Lobby or either Amazon. What are the two? I can't remember. But anyway, any greenery would do here, you know. And I'm just going to tuck those like behind the tag a little bit. Like it was, yeah, I tucked it behind the tag or on top of it. I can't remember. I think I tucked it behind. But anyway, it don't matter. I just tucked it in there somewhere. And I just added a little dab of glue. And then I think what happened here is I was like, it still feels a little bare. But now looking at it, I probably should have just left it like this. But y'all know me. I was like, I think it needs more. So I added more. And I think why I was thinking that was because the ribbon was so wide. And I was trying to narrow, but I think I was just making it more obvious. But y'all know me. But that's it for this project. I hope you guys like it. And we're going to move into project number 2. And we're going to take, this is one of the smaller size of these trays. We painted that with some nutmeg brown paint by Apple Barrel. We took one of the wooden frames from Dollar Tree. Then I had this rice paper that I believe I got from decopodgenapkins.com. I think it came from them. And I also painted one of the large tower tumbling blocks that you can get at Five Below. It's one of the jumbo size ones. And I'm just going in with my water pen right here, and I'm just removing the part of this rice paper that I don't want for this project. And I love working with rice paper because it's so forgiving, especially when you're doing the decoupage, which is what you typically would do it with anyway, use it for. But I love working with it because it's so forgiving. So forgiving. So once I get that torn down in size, I'm leaving the inside of this in its natural color because the background of that rice paper was a neutral color, and I didn't want to put white paint in here. I wanted this to blend kind of seamlessly, and it did. It worked. But I went in with some Mod Podge, a good heavy dose, because again, we're working with rice paper, and the texture of rice paper is a lot thicker than napkin or tissue paper, so you can really go heavy on the Mod Podge here without worrying about a whole lot of wrinkles. And I'm just using my sponge to go ahead and push this in just to make sure it's tucked nice in there. You see me kind of pressing in the creases because I wanted this to kind of cascade on the side of the little tray, just kind of give like a panoramic effect, if you will. Okay, I know that was stretching, but that's what I was going for. And it looked really cute. It looks cute, guys. So then I take my parchment paper as well as my little mini heat press here, and you don't have to wait for the Mod Podge to dry in instances when you're using the rice paper. That's another cool tip too. And I always have, you know, full disclosure, guys, I always have the links of who I'm affiliated with in my description box, which you can now access to through your TV. If you watch on your TV, you can now access the description box on your TV or any mobile device that you have or tablet. And I always have good little codes in there for you guys. If you ever want to check them out, they are very affordable, along with some other affiliates that I'm a part of. So, you know, stop by and see what goodies you can possibly find in there. So once I have that in there, and I did this more to get the edges to lay flat versus wrinkles, because you really, like I said earlier, you really don't get wrinkles with rice paper. So once I did that, I went in with some of my Aliens tacky glue and hot glue, and we're going to attach this frame to the shadow box here. And I did add, as you guys can see, I did add the tower tumbling block at the base, and that's just to make sure it holds and make sure I had enough length there to add the frame. Okay, I know I'm trying to say too much at once, guys. That's what's happening right now. So now I'm going in with some of my puffy paint, and you can find this at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I'm sure I got it from one of those stores. And we're just going to outline this wooden frame. I love this. I think this is so cute. Now my puff painting ain't the best, but I've made it work. And when you're doing like your whole gingerbread, they never come out perfect anyway. But I think this is cute. You can sprinkle a little of the fairy dust on here to make it sparkle. I didn't do that because I didn't feel like getting my fingers all messed up and stuff. But what I did do, because I wanted to add a kind of a 3D element to this, is I did take some cotton swabs that I had used previously, and I just tucked them in the bottom of this to give that snow effect. And you can also add lights, but you really don't need them, and you'll see in the final reveal. All right, so now we're going to move on to our final project of today. Now this is me using a project that I had used last year for spring. So I took all of those florals out and everything, and I used the smaller tray for this, as well as the wood beads from Dollar Tree, the beaded wreath from Dollar Tree. Okay, and I'm going to leave this in its natural state, guys, because, again, if I want to repurpose it again, I don't want to have to repaint it. And this really worked out. I was a little nervous about it, but I like the neutral vibe. And that little pop of red here, it really offset well with the natural color. And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, if I just made it up in my head, but I think the natural color of that wood and the red played really well together. All right, so I'm just going in, adding these poinsettias, which I think I got from Michael's. I don't know. I think so. But anyway, you can get the ones from Dollar Tree. They have some nice ones. They've upped their game since they've upped their price with their picks. So, you know, do you, or do whatever color you want, really. You can do, well, I don't know if silver will look good in here, but gold maybe, white. I think white would look good in here. And so I'm going to take this word joy that I got from Michael's last year, or either the year before, because this was in my container in the garage. It might have been the year before, because I remember I went to Michael's and I got all these like words. They were like 30 cents, 50 cents. I stacked up on them. And so I'm telling you guys, don't count out Michael's. They can be a little pricey, but if you have your rewards, if you go and make mark everything down, you can walk out of there with some really good deals. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take this, and I probably should have used a zip tie here instead of this pipe cleaner or Chanel stem. But I was just thinking red. I just was thinking red, and when I looked over, This was the first thing I saw, so I just went with it. But again, this is an easy fix because I'm not really tacking a whole anything down, so I can really just go in and manipulate this how I want it to be in the end, basically. So then I'm going to take another one of these bows from Dollar Tree. And just like the first one, I'm going to go ahead and remove the tails from it. I was actually going to keep it at first, but I was like, I don't think so. I don't know that I like it with the tails on there. The vision I have for it would have looked cute to put the tails on the side of the beads, but it would cover the word. And so I was like, okay, that's too much. Even for me, it was too much. And y'all know, if I say it's too much for me, then it was too much. Now, this would definitely be a one-way facing project because the back, you can't really tell. And then you have the little Chanel stem behind the bow and all that jazz. So it would be a one-way facing project. But here we are in the final reveal. I took the present and I added it on top of a candlestick holder from Dollar Tree. I think that really elevated this piece. I think it looks really cute. And I have to say, Lovies, if you haven't decided to do so already, please consider joining my YouTube family because I would love to have you all here. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting because you guys know how much I love to chat with you guys after each and every video. I love to chat with you guys. I know you guys must be busy with summer. I haven't had a whole lot of comments come through, and I understand that. I respect that. I know there's a lot of craziness going on in this world right now. Let's pray for Texas because they are getting hit hard. And I have family over there. I have some friends over there. So definitely keep them in your prayers because they are getting hit hard right now. All right. And if you guys let me know if you have a favorite of today. I like them all. I do. I think this is really a neat way to use these trays. I hope you guys were inspired in some way. And you guys have to let me know how you feel about this natural and red together. I personally like it. I don't know. I just do. Even with the little design in the joy word, I still like it. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but I added the little pine thingies in there. But yeah, don't forget to hype this video, Lovies, after you like this video. And also, if you want to support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/craftaway with May. That just helps with supplies and such. But if you can't do that, it's okay. I'm just happy to have you here with me as always. That's what makes my heart smiles the most. So don't you worry about that. And until the next video, Lovies, be safe, be kind, hugs and kisses. XOXO. Bye.